Around the Ozarks is now on your FM radio. Listen to Around the Ozarks mornings with Grace Gooley as I spotlight local people, stories, and podcasts, all while playing the country legends of the 90s and the hit makers of the 2000s. It's on the Ozarks' best country, 105.1 The Bull. It's time for Around the Ozarks News, sponsored by the Springfield Greene County Park Board, Thompson Sales, Advanced Car Care, Smouse Brothers, and United Plumbing. Here are your hosts, Ethan and Sarah Forhetz.
Well, one more time this morning, you have Chris and Kelly. Kelly is going to be back with me today as we take care of your Friday edition of ATO News. And Kelly, you missed out yesterday. Had Leslie, I ended up calling her your name and instead of calling her Leslie. So we're just going to adapt her into the Club of Kelly going forward.
Club Kelly. And, that's the joy of having my name. It could be a boy. It could be a girl.
Well, she's got to throw an H in her name, and I don't know how we're going to say that. I think it's like Kelly or something like that, but everybody's going to be different around here.
I've known a Y-E, K-E-L-L-Y-E before. And shout out to my wife who may or may not ordered pizza. And when they ask what's the name for the order, she says Kelly. So then I go pick it up and I say my name, and it works. Yep. So there you go.
All right, well, let's get into the news for the Friday morning. Looks like Springfield police issued a warning about hyper-realistic toy firearms after a tense incident at a local Target. Now, officers cannot easily tell the difference between water guns and real weapons when rushing into active situations. The trend is a nationwide issue with community instances involving teens playing water games that escalate into dangerous public standoffs. Now, parents are being asked to step in and talk to their kids about the dangers of carrying these props and playing these games out in public. I know they become wildly popular amongst high schools where they go out and they have pretty much like a citywide water gun fight. But with some of these toys that are coming out these days, I think when you get in that situation, it really is hard to tell the difference between what's real and what's not, especially when there's no bright colors involved, which is always an indicator. But I don't know, man. I feel bad for the police officers having to navigate that situation.
Well, and I saw a Facebook post where they had, one on top of the other. Can you tell which one of these is loaded?
Right.
Can you tell which one of these has water in it? And it looks like a Glock. It looks like an actual firearm that they're using. And it puts everyone in a horrible situation, especially for those police officers to make a snap judgment.
Absolutely.
So please be careful out there. Well, speaking of police, clever police chief Randall Blackburn is pushing back against a proposal by city leaders to dissolve the town's police force. The plan would hand law enforcement duties over to a contract with Christian County Sheriff's Office. The Sheriff's Office promises 24-hour coverage at a lower price point, which could solve ongoing staffing problems. Local residents are torn on the issue, expressing a mix of support for the sheriff and the desire to keep their neighborhood officers. And so kind of puts the citizens are caught in the middle there. Do they support the police? Do they support the sheriff? The citizens just want protection at the end of the day.
And when you're kind of limited on resources, you got to do the best you can. But unfortunately, sometimes these situations happen, and it's hard to tell is this going to be a good thing or a bad thing. Unfortunately, it's one of those, I guess time will tell. Well, Lebanon Rural Fire Protection District is short-staffed on volunteer firefighters while local emergency calls are continuing to climb. They are looking for reserve drivers to get trucks to and from scenes, which lets the actual firefighters focus more entirely on the putting out the fires and such of that nature. Now, the role does handle truck management and water refueling, making it massively helpful in rural areas without nearby fire hydrants. Now, the time commitment is intentionally low, requiring just 2 training sessions and a single maintenance shift every month for volunteers over the age of 21. So again, some staffing issues this time around with the fire department. Hopefully they'll get some more volunteers to help get those numbers up. So that way, when they dial 911, nobody's stuck waiting for the fire department to show up, which not the time which you want to be put on hold.
But, it sounds like a very low barrier of entry with being able to become a volunteer. So hopefully the short turnaround will increase their staff accordingly.
Helping out where you can, volunteering the time that you've got. A little, again, minimal commitment, but you're helping out greatly with a fantastic cause.
Absolutely. Well, Johnny Morris's Wonders of Wildlife secured the title of Best Aquarium in the Country from USA Today readers for the 8th time.
Oh, there it is. 8 times.
There it
well
is.
done.
8 times. Nearly 9 million people have visited the massive Springfield staple since it opened its doors back in 2017. The venue holds 1.5 million gallons of water and serves as home to more than 35,000 live animals. Morris expressed deep gratitude, emphasizing that the recognition highlights the museum's major role in pushing global conservation forward. 8
And it really
times.
is. It is. And rightfully so. It's an amazing place. I take my kids there at least twice a year. We're usually right around Christmas time, sometime in the summer. My kids love it. So it's a fantastic place, hands down.
You know, my youngest daughter, I think one of her friends had their birthday party there. You know, that's another way to just have a bunch of kids walk around.
For adults, because I would love to have a birthday there once.
Yeah, and maybe,
you know,
my birthday's coming up. Maybe we can schedule something there.
All right, Kelly's birthday at the aquarium. Let's go.
We'll see you there, everybody. Come on down.
Well, it looks like a free Mother Road edition of the Mystery Hour is coming to the Galois Theater on June 12th as part of the Route 66 Centennial Series. Now, Emmy Award winner Jeff Houghton will be hosting the live show, which features sketch comedy, musical performances, and interviews. Tickets must be reserved in advance by either calling the box office at 417-863-9491 or dropping by the theater in person, getting that reservation made. Check it out. Jeff Houghton is a hilarious guy. It's a fantastic show, and it's great to see it coming back, especially just in time for Route 66 Centennial time.
Been a fan of Jeff for a very, very long time. Followed him along the way. Just does a phenomenal job with the Mystery Hour. Really brings that New York, LA, even Chicago big time comedy show feel right here. It's in our own backyard. So
yeah,
shout out to Jeff. Great job. It is Friday. I don't know if we're willing to say that Memorial Day weekend starts now, but if you're listening,
why not?
Memorial Day weekend starts now, so let's look at the weather. Springfield is looking at a warm but stormy upcoming holiday weekend. Daytime temperatures will hover between the mid-70s and the mid-80s throughout the holiday stretch. Rain and thunderstorms will pop up randomly, bringing scattered on and off showers to your outdoor plans.
So make sure you're keeping an eye to the sky all throughout your Memorial Day weekend. It doesn't look like it's going to get too crazy, but then again, at the same time, you never know what's going to happen. Don't rule anything out. So if you're going to be on the lake, take a radio with you. Keep up to date. Tune it in right over to 105.1 The Bull. Little plug there. And so that way, if there's any severe weather, you'll be able to keep up with what's going on. So.
And I was just going to say, especially on the lake, you never know. Those storms can pop up and get crazy in a hurry.
Yeah.
So
and it turns out water choppy fast.
Oh, yeah. Keep your eye on the sky and your ears to the bull.
There you go. Well, the Great Gas Giveaway Blood Drive kicks off tomorrow at Community Blood Center of the Ozarks and their donor locations. Now, the donors are going to be able to give blood, plasma, and platelets, and will be able to score a mystery Casey's gift card loaded with anywhere from $10 to $100 while supplies last. Now, the drive is throwing in some extra perks, including a summer-themed T-shirt and a give-and-go fun pass packed with over $245 worth of regional activities. So, good stuff.
So, $10 to $100. So that's anywhere from a drip or half a tank,
There you go. Especially nowadays with gas prices. Yeah, right. I could use it just for the gas. Let's do it.
I'll take a half a tank. I don't care. Around 200 volunteers came together to place over 13,000 American flags across the Missouri Veterans Cemetery in Springfield. The massive display honors fallen service members ahead of the upcoming Memorial Day weekend ceremonies. Ceremony director Tony Couples praised the community, sharing that the overwhelming volunteer turnout deeply moved the entire staff. And it's one thing to do something for those fallen soldiers, for their families, but when all those volunteers come out and place all those flags to move the staff really speaks to the commitment this community has and rallies behind very worthy causes.
Right. And when you drive by it all throughout the weekend, you're going to see those flags. And you can't help but have a sense of pride when you see that. So
absolutely, yeah.
Well, another Memorial Day news: Nixa Parks and Recreation is setting up for its yearly Memorial Day ceremony to honor military members. The community event will be taking place at 9 a.m. on Saturday, tomorrow, inside the X Center. And speaking of this weekend, Memorial Day weekend usually is the kickoff for a lot of the local pools, and Grant Beach and Westport outdoor pools are going to be staying closed all summer due to severe structural damage. Now, Grant Beach Pool is going to be fixing leftover 2025 storm damage with construction running through late May, all the way up to, running from late May through August. So it's going to be pretty much taking over the entire summer. Now, Westport Pool did suffer some major underground failures that require deep engineering evaluations before repairs can even start. The park board is adjusting schedules to compensate, adding extra open days at Fast Night, at Meter, as well as Silver Springs Pools, and they're going to be discounting their evening admissions on top of that. Now, the indoor options are going to be expanding, as well as Chesterfield and Dueling Family Centers will be opening their indoor lanes at outdoor rates from Monday through Thursday, and that's going to be in the evening time starting on June 1st. Now, alternate regional pools are going to be opening right on schedule this Saturday, May 23rd, including the Aquatic Centers in Nixa, Ozark, and Republic. Not going to be quite warm enough for the pools just yet, but next couple of weekends, those things are going to be absolutely packed.
It's always good to get them open, let the sun heat up that water just as fast as it can. You know,
right.
It's unfortunate.
I don't care. The older I get, the less and less a cold pool sounds awesome.
Hey, people are cold plunging now, so I guess that's just a giant cold plunge.
Not for me.
And, you know, with the other two pools not being able to open, it's good that the city made a recommendation and did.
Absolutely.
You know, and even less of a rate, you know, some discounting, even admission. That's really good. Good job on the city.
Well, Kelly, thanks for hanging out with me again today as we knocked out another round of ATO news. And thank you to everybody who, hung in there with us this week. We had a couple of technical difficulties and some snafus, but don't worry, Ethan and Sarah will be back with you guys coming up here next week. So have yourself a fantastic Memorial Day weekend. Kelly, my man, stay safe, enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you all back here next week.
It's time for Around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather, brought to you by Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, Taylor Gruba Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Here is your host, meteorologist Abby Dyer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Friday. We made it. Friday afternoon is going to be kind of soggy, though, in a few places. We've got chances for rain and storms in the forecast, a little bit of that on the radar overnight and early this morning, but I think most of it will arrive by this afternoon. We have temperatures this morning that are very warm, starting out in the upper 50s and low 60s generally, depending on where you're at. It'll be a mild day in terms of temperatures. In fact, I have mild conditions in the forecast all weekend long, with highs basically near 80 degrees every day and low temperatures near 60 every night. We are not without scattered storms in this forecast, though, and that's really the headline for you as we head into the holiday weekend. Today looks to be one of the most rainy or dreary, with low clouds locked in. We may have some drizzle late in the day today. Some fog may develop. It looks like kind of a dreary day to be outdoors. If you get any breaks in the clouds, those will happen early in the day, and I expect the second half of the Friday to be kind of dreary across the Ozarks. We've got low clouds and fog that may develop in the forecast this evening. So if you live in a low-lying spot, a place that's prone to see some fog, do be cautious driving later this evening. You might need the low beams. Conditions may be low with the visibility forecast in the area as we head into tonight and early tomorrow. The weather map shows that it's just unsettled for basically the eastern 2/3 of the country. There's a lot of places expecting some scattered rain in the forecast today. And as we get closer to the weekend, well, it looks very unsettled across the middle section and eastern portion of the U.S. There will likely be rounds of showers and thunderstorms, and we're no exception. I have a daily rain chance in the forecast today, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday. It lasts all the way through the holiday weekend. So be prepared for the rain, but that's not to say that each and every day this weekend is going to be a washout, because that's just not the case. We have a chance for storms in the forecast each day, but the chance goes down as we head into Saturday. So today, the rain chance, it's looking pretty good across the Ozarks, about a 70% chance for some showers and thunderstorms. Localized areas may see some heavy downpours. Some flooding may occur in places that get some of that heavy rain that are already saturated from earlier this week. We also have an opportunity. I'm going to give it about a 50% chance for some pop-up showers and thunderstorms Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Now, It's not going to rain all day. But if you do have outdoor plans, if you're kicking off summer this weekend, the pools are open, you're heading to a lake, just know you're going to have to watch the sky because storms could develop in the forecast. So just have a backup plan. I wouldn't cancel anything at this point. It doesn't look like all day washout type rains, but it may be something that keeps you inside for a couple of hours at a time as we head into the weekend forecast. Around the country, here's what's making headlines. It's this very wet weather pattern that's taking shape across the eastern U.S. for the holiday weekend. They are looking at a downpour nearly every single day in the forecast on the mid-Atlantic. We also have a round of high elevation snowfall that is set to move into the northern and central Rockies as rain moves into the lower elevations, and that will extend and expand into portions of the northern plains as well. So very active across the country as we head into the holiday weekend. If you're looking for sunshine and no rain, you got to go west, like way west of the Rockies. All right, here's a look at that around the Ozarks Wake Up Weather Brain Twister trivia question for the day. It was a long one yesterday. In 1911, scientists in Antarctica discovered a glacier that appeared to be bleeding a deep crimson red liquid into the ice. What is the actual scientific cause behind the famous blood falls phenomenon? Do you think it was a rare species of red snow algae thriving in the freezing temperatures? B, high concentrations of iron oxide leaching from an ancient trapped subglacial lake? C, volcanic sulfur venting through the ice sheet from a hidden geothermal hotspot? Or D, a high-density colony of deep-sea tube worms trapped during the last ice age? Whew, that was a mouthful. If you guessed that it's because of high concentrations of iron oxide leaching from an ancient trapped subglacial lake, you would be correct. That was B, if you weren't following. Congrats, if B was your guess. Here's the next chance to win. Memorial Day was originally known by what name? When it became widely observed in 1868 following the American Civil War. Do you think it was A, Remembrance Day, B, Decoration Day, C, Veterans Day, or D, Armistice Day? Please submit your guesses at the website. It's aroundtheozarks.com. Speaking of Memorial Day, Around the Ozarks will be breaking for the holiday. So I'll be back to chat with you on Tuesday morning and have the answer to that trivia question. In the meantime, enjoy your long weekend, and I'll be right back here to meet you next week. Thanks to our sponsors, Command Family Medicine, Heating and Air Paramedics, The Trailer Ranch, Hewitt Messenger, Taylor Grubaugh Chevrolet, and Godfather's Pizza. Have a great one, everybody. We'll chat again